Bhagavad Gita, chapter 10, text 22. Vedanam samavedosmi, devanam asmi vasavaha, indriyanam manaschasmi, bhutanam asmi chetana. Vedanam, of all the Vedas, Samaveda, the Samaveda, Asmi, I am, Devanam, of all the demigods, Asmi, I am, Vasava, the heavenly king, Indriyanam, of all the senses, Manah, the mind, Cha, also, Asmi, I am, Bhutanam, of all living entities, Asmi, I am, Chetana, the living force. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Translation of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind, and in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. Please repeat. Of the Vedas, I am the Samaveda. Of the demigods, I am Indra, the king of heaven. Of the senses, I am the mind. And in living beings, I am the living force, consciousness. Purport. The difference between matter and spirit is that matter has no consciousness like the living entity. Therefore, this consciousness is supreme and eternal. Consciousness cannot be produced by a combination of matter. So, this verse, the shlokam, is from the 10th chapter, where Kṛṣṇa is highlighting his opulences that we can perceive. Kṛṣṇa is actually very great. He is the greatest. But when we say these words, great or greatest, almighty, we actually do not know what that means. So to give us an idea of how great he is giving just some glimpses of his power and his supremacy. So in this chapter, he is declaring that among the things that we can see and we know in this material world, the supreme of such examples in that category is a representation of Kṛṣṇa. So, for example, he says, among the animals I am the lion, among the fish I am the shark. So in this way, among the immovable things I am the Himalayas. So in this way, he is giving the supreme example in each of them. But when he says like this, it is not that he is a shark. Now we start worshipping sharks. No, that is not what it means. That is his representation. That is a supreme example of a particular category, and Kṛṣṇa is saying, that is my representation. When he says, I am, that's why some especially among the Hindus, this is a big misconception owing to a lack of scriptural understanding, owing to a lack of understanding of our Vedic literature. Many Hindus have got it wrong. Here, Kṛṣṇa says, I am Indra. That does not mean Kṛṣṇa and Indra are same. We can see this in the Kṛṣṇa Leela when he lifted the Govardhan hill. Indra tried to show his supremacy over Kṛṣṇa, and his plan was foiled. So it is not that Kṛṣṇa and Indra are same. And in the Parijat flower as well, for Satyabhama, Kṛṣṇa took the Parijat flower and Indra could not do anything. He tried to fight, but he lost. So He is an insignificant living entity. You also can become Indra. Anyone can become Indra, provided you are qualified. Just like in Singapore, there are so many people, but one person is qualified to be the Prime Minister. So he is also a citizen of the country, but he qualified himself somehow or other and became Prime Minister. Similarly, one can become Indra, Chandra, Brahma also. Shiva one cannot become. Shiva is beyond all living entities. But even Shiva is subordinate to Vishnu or Krishna. Now, many, especially Hindus, they do not know these things. They think we are one sect of Hinduism. Oh, we are the Vaishnava sect of Hinduism. Whereas there is the Shaktas, there is the Shaivas, there is so many other. In fact, they say even atheism is also part of Hinduism. Charvak Muni, they quote. You know Charvak Muni? There was an atheist sage called Charvak Muni. Ranam kritva ghritam pibet yavat jivet sukham jivet. What is that? Matya bhutasya kutah punaragamano bhavet. Bhasmi bhavati murtasya kutah punaragamano bhavet. He says, after this death, everything is finished. Just like modern atheists, he says, we're all going to turn into ashes. So while you're living, live life king size. Somehow or other, get ghee and eat nicely. If you don't have the means to get ghee, get it by borrowing or stealing. And if you are worried about getting punished for such sinful activities, don't worry. There is no such thing as sinful activities, karma, and all this is a scam. Nothing is going to happen. After death, you're just going to become ashes. So while you're here, just enjoy. And that is the exact idea of these people today who think like that. And even those who have some religious idea, they also think that this is the one life, that's it. Yeah, especially even among Indians, we have heard, Punarjanma, Purva Janma, we have heard many times, but nobody takes seriously. Nobody takes it seriously. They behave as if there is one life only. When it comes to some rituals, when somebody passes away, they do the tarpan and all this, but they have no faith in those processes as well. They just say, okay, we have to do this, so we'll do this. But we don't even know what is going on there. What is the afterlife? They don't even think much. They don't give it a serious thought. They think that is the religious side of life. It has been coming from generations, tradition. Okay, let me just keep it for the society's sake. Otherwise, relatives will start talking. So I'll just do that. But there's no proper understanding of the whole matter. Neither do the priests actually explain properly. And even if they explain, we'll think that we will just hear and okay. We have more faith in so-called science, which says that after this death, everything is finished. Otherwise, why would we work so hard for temporary things, when everything is going to be finished, and whatever we do for maintaining this temporary situation is going to carry forward. For example, I want to maintain my body and my family, and so I have to work. And in the course of my working, I may take up some occupation which may be sinful. For example, some people may want to do part-time job, and they become a delivery driver for, say, McDonald's or some kind of meat industry. McDonald's means meat industry. All such enterprises. So if I work for them, I am delivering meat. Even if I am vegetarian, I will be liable. Just recently, last week, I was speaking to this lady. She was saying that her daughter was a gynecologist. And I said, well, that is a very dangerous occupation. As much as it is helpful, it is also dangerous. She said, why? Because in gynecology, apart from helping mothers deliver children in the hospital, they also kill the children in the name of abortion. And such doctors don't even give consideration that actually this is a living entity. This is a living person inside. It's not a to-be baby or a to-be human. No, it's already human. Okay. Let's clarify so that everyone is on the same page. Shri Bhagavan Vacha. This is from Srimad Bhagavatam. And who is speaking? Bhagavan. So everybody else should just shut up. Why? Because Bhagavan is speaking. All these doctors, so-called scientists, biologists, they don't know nothing. Because they did not create anything. Kṛṣṇa created. So everybody should just zip up. So Shri Bhagavan Vacha. Karmana daivanetrena jantur dehopapattaye striyaha pravishta udaram pumso retaha kanashraya. What is that? The personality of Godhead said, okay, not some idiot. Okay? We're talking about the Purushottam. Now he is saying, under the supervision of the Supreme Lord and according to the result of his work, the living entity, the soul or Atma, is made to enter into the womb of a woman through the particle of male semen to assume a particular type of body. So the moment he enters the womb through the semen, the first night itself, he is living. That's it. It doesn't matter whether the baby is this big or this big or this big or this big or like one molecule. It doesn't matter. The soul has already entered and he is living since then. And what he said, Karmana daivanetana jantur dehopapattaye. Karmana means his previous work. That means he was existing before he entered into the womb of the mother. But you see how much the world is an illusion. They have zero clue, zero understanding of this thing. They don't even know actually when life starts. I have researched on this topic because I was thinking, why do they abort? What is their understanding of life? So I've tried to find out what is their understanding. When does life start? They're not sure. They say many countries have laws like 20 weeks, 24. After 24 weeks, you cannot. Abort. Some have like that because they think after 24 weeks something the baby is viable. That means even if something happens, the baby can be put in an incubator and can be attempted to be delivered. So that's how they calculate. They have some vague understanding. Oh, around this time. Not like they don't have a precise answer. Even medical science, and they are passing off as big doctors and big credentials, but they don't even know when life starts, and they don't even know when life ends. They're seeing death when the ECG goes flat, and then okay, this person died. But what is that? Is he just some graph? What is the living entity? He's not just a graph. He's not just the heartbeat. The heart is beating because he's there. Just like the car is moving because the driver is there. None of the parts of the car are actually alive. But the driver is alive. He is moving the car. So when the driver leaves the car will not move. So similarly, when the soul, Atma, leaves the body does not move. It's dead. Actually, the body is always dead, just like the car is always dead. Even now, our body is dead. We thought, this is now he's alive and later it's a dead body. No. The body is now also dead, later also dead, always dead. And the living entity is always alive. The Atma is always alive. He never dies. Najayate mriyate va kadachin. There's never a time when he takes birth and never a time when he ceases to exist. He's always there. So we have a problem. We don't know what is life, what is death, who we are, what is this body. We don't know anything. And they're passing off as scientists and doctors. So this person said that my doctor works as a gynecologist. So I said that's a dangerous occupation, and I said all these things. But then she said, well, I don't think the doctor is at fault, even if he or she has to do the abortion, because it is the mother who decided, it is the father who decided, it is this person who decided, that person who decided. He's just doing his job. As long as he's doing his job, it's okay. And she said, my Guru Maharaj told me that. I said, who is your Guru Maharaj? Radha Swami. In Sindhis, among Sindhi community, very popular. Some Marwadis as well. And he's an impersonalist. And he said, I said, who is he compared to Krishna? Guru means he must repeat what Krishna says. Not he says something which is different from what God says. Then he's not Guru. If he's telling something that is not there in the Shastra, if he's telling an opposite conclusion, he's not Guru. Immediately. There is no, oh, let me check out. No. We have very easy litmus test to check whether one is a bona fide or not. A Guru means he does not invent. He repeats the word of Krishna. He first of all accepts Krishna as Supreme Personality of Godhead, and he accepts whatever Krishna says as truth, and he repeats. It's actually very simple to be a Guru, but at the same time the most difficult, because we want to invent. We want to show off that I have created something, I have come up with something. Innovation. We give some euphemistic words for that. But actually, we did not invent anything. We did not come up with something. It's already there. Everything is already there. And if I'm not convinced, then read the Bhagavad Gita. There is enough material to read. No, I don't believe Krishna is God, or whatever he's saying is correct, or whether he even exists. Okay, I understand. You do not know. But then find out. Read first the Bhagavad Gita. Read. Without reading, why are you coming to the conclusion that he's not there already? If you say that I'm not sure, okay, I agree. But then be sure, na? With knowledge comes surety. If you're not sure, why are you going against it? Why are you so sure against it? You're not. So that is hypocrisy. That is hypocrisy. So I should not reject something before I know whether it is right or wrong. Once I know, yes, I can make conclusive statements. Why? How we can say that everybody is a rascal who does not listen to Krishna? Why? Because Krishna says so. I mean, who are we compared to Krishna? If Krishna is saying this is the fact, and I am saying no, that is not the fact, this is the fact. Now, who should I believe? I will choose Krishna. Because he is perfect. So, she came up with this. So, this is wrong idea again. Many Hindus also have this problem. They say, as long as it is work, it's okay. Sometimes they say, oh, I have donated to such and such charity. So we explain that, charity should be given. Krishna says, Yat karoshi yad ashnasi yad juhoshi dadasi yat tapasyasa kaunteya tat kurushvam adarpanam. Krishna says that if you want to give anything in charity, you should give it to me. 9:27. Whatever you do, whatever you eat, whatever you offer or give away, and whatever austerities you perform, do that, O son of Kunti, as an offering to me. What does that mean? Why we should give to Krishna? Krishna is richest, he has everything. Why should I give charity to Krishna? I rather give it to the poor man who's on the street, who does not have a home, who does not have food. What is this giving to Krishna? So how to understand this? So we should understand one thing, that when we try to give charity to, say, a poor man and trying to help him, first of all, we cannot help that person. Even if we help for a time being, material bodily help, that is not real help for that person. Because his sufferings are not going to end. Real help means end his sufferings for good. And for good means, that means no more even next life. This life sufferings, finish them out, and also next life suffering. Everything. So how to do that? First of all, we must understand what is the cause of the suffering. Oh, he's hungry. What is so difficult to understand? He's hungry. There, give him food now. That's it. Yeah, that's a very superficial understanding. If we do not understand how the mechanics of karma works, that's how we will see it. This is called pashan apina pashyati. It's like, suppose I have fever and my body is all hot. If I say, oh, his body is hot, put ice. It's worse. It's worse when you do that. So, oh, it is hot, so make it cold. That's it. He's hungry, give him food. That's it. This is like that. Foolish diagnosis, foolish cure. That is why this is called amandodaya daya. Sorry, mandodaya daya. Mandodaya daya means manda udaya daya. Daya means, compassion, mercy. So we are trying to show mercy, but by the showing that mercy, manda udaya, means the result is inauspicious. Whereas Krishna consciousness is amandodayadaya, amanda udayadaya. That means the result is completely auspicious. Why? So, firstly, if I give the food to the poor man, I am trying to be the friend of that person, trying to be the provider. But do I own everything to provide? I don't. I have something which was given to me as a quota by Krishna. To be born in a good family, to have a good position. Some people say, no, I was not born in a good family. I'm a self-made man. I came from the slums or something. I made millions of dollars by my own. Okay, fine. But who gave you the intelligence? You think you have all the control of every single nerve that is going on in the head. One nerve snaps, then become paralyzed. So who is maintaining that balance? And even if I have used my intelligence to climb the whole ladder and then become a big top fellow, that intelligence Krishna has to give. Otherwise we cannot have. To be born with the intelligence itself is a blessing. So we are on borrowed property. Everything that we have, Janma, Aishwarya, Shruta, Shribhir, good birth in a cultured family or a good nation where there is not war, there is some comfortable living, whatever. So this is Janma. Aishwarya means to have wealth, whether inherited or self-made. It's not completely in your control that you can earn wealth. No. It has to be given by Krishna. Janmaishwarya, Shruta, intelligence. Shruta means once I hear, I understand, I can apply. This is Shruta. So intelligence, if I have intelligence, that is also bestowed upon us. And then, even if I'm born to intelligent parents, I can be born as a retarded person. I can be born as a retard, right? Doesn't mean that father and mother intelligent, child also will be intelligent. No, anything can happen. We don't have control over that. Neither do the parents have control over that. The mother and father have no idea what is going on. She's just bearing the weight. But inside, she's not engineering. She's not, okay, now I'm creating the brain of the child. Now I'm creating the skull. No. She has no idea what is even going on. And that's why many people even abort, kill their own children. From mothers, they become murderers. So, they don't even know what's going on. So, we should not claim credit for what we have. We have to acknowledge that we have been blessed by whatever we have. So when I give something to a poor man, I have this pride that I am helping. I am not the provider. Krishna is the provider for everyone. So why should I give to Krishna? Because if one part of my body, say a finger, is weak, how to strengthen the finger? You eat, put food in the stomach, then whole body, not only one finger, whole body will get energized. You will get energy, nutrition. I cannot give food to the finger alone. So if I want to help the finger, I have to put in the stomach. It sounds counterintuitive. Of course, we know this is, that's a fact. But that's the same logic. Krishna is the provider, like the stomach is the provider for nutrition and strength for all parts of the body. Similarly, Krishna is the source of everyone and the strength and happiness of everyone. Krishna is the source. So if we make him happy, then we also become happy. That's the only way. We cannot, just like the finger, if it's weak, it has to put food in the stomach through the mouth. And then, yes, the finger also will get energy. So, likewise, we have to serve Krishna, and Krishna will give us. So, first of all, why are we suffering? Why that poor man is suffering? Krishna says, Aham bija pradah pita, I am the father of everyone. Not only humans, but also animals. The fish in the ocean also are being fed by Krishna. The sharks in the ocean, they are also fed by Krishna. Because if there are no other small fish, what will they eat? So Krishna is feeding everyone. But when we do not acknowledge this, then we have a distorted understanding. So why is that person not getting, if even sharks are fed, if an elephants and big animals are fed, and one person, how much he can eat, some 2-3 chapatis, then why he is not able to eat? Why he doesn't have shelter? The reason, then we have to understand that Kṛṣṇa daivanetrana, just now we have read, Kṛṣṇa, by his previous actions, he was born in a particular family, he was born into he was given a certain quota of intelligence, certain quota of wealth, certain quota of beauty. Beauty is another thing which we cannot control. Some people are proud, oh, I am beautiful, oh, this thing. And then somebody say, oh, you are beautiful, oh, thank you. You did it? Why are you saying thank you? All glories to Krishna, if anything. So, and they're proud of these things, as if they own these things. They don't. We don't own anything. So we have to give all credit to Krishna. So, understanding that he is the source of everything, and any suffering is only because of karmana, something he has done in his past life which is causing him to be deprived of his comforts in this life. So how to rectify? We do not know what he did and how to rectify. So that is also Krishna gives the solution. He's not giving, he's giving. So he says that the main cause of our suffering is because we have left him. Krishna says, Aham bija prada, I am the father of everyone. If our father is very rich, why should I be on the street begging? Something somewhere went wrong, where the father is extremely rich and the son is on the street begging. What has gone wrong? So we have turned away from our father, Krishna. We have turned away. We belong not here. We belong to the Vaikuntha, the kingdom of God, where Vaikuntha means what? Yasma, yes, what is that? Vigata kuntha yasma aditi Vaikuntha. Kuntha means anxiety. What is anxiety? Janma, mrityu, jara, vyadhi, dukkha, doshana, darshanam. The cardinal miseries of human life, no, not only human life, material life, is this: birth, death, old age, and disease. These are unavoidable miseries. Okay? Now, if I think, oh, okay, that's misery, yeah, I agree. But between that, there is so much happiness, right? Birth, we actually don't even remember how painful it was. For the mother, it is painful, but the child suffers thousands of times more than the mother. We are being in a compact bag, dark, pitch dark. We cannot see anything, and neither can we see. I mean, our body is not developed properly, and we are completely packed in a very, it is said that if an adult is packed into the same situation again, he won't last 9 seconds. Such a position, and inside that there is blood, stool, worms, everything is there. We suffered so much. But by Krishna's mercy, we forget everything once we come out. Of course, after coming out, there are more sufferings. That's why the child comes out crying. He doesn't come out, ha ha ha. He doesn't come out like that. He always comes out crying. There's suffering. Even to come out of the birth canal is very suffering. It's a big suffering itself, suffocating. So, birth is painful. Death is painful. No, my so-and-so passed away peacefully. There's no such thing as peaceful death. How much ever we want to console ourselves saying that, but there's no such thing as peaceful death. People have regrets, people have bodily pain, people have mental pains. You don't even know. Unless we face it, we don't even know what it is. So death is painful. Old age is painful because your body starts failing. Not only that, mentally also we will face, because we start losing our loved ones. Once we grow old, all our near and dear will start leaving. And family politics, maybe the younger generation won't give as much respect, they neglect or throw away in the old age home somewhere. So there are so many things. Old age is painful. And body starts to fail one by one, the organs start to fail, always in the hospital, tubes everywhere. Even a small fall in our young days, nothing would have happened, but old age is a little bit fall and then broken bones. So it's very painful in every single way. And then there's disease. Now if you think, okay, birth, okay, fine, finished, okay, already done. Death, yeah, when it comes, we'll see. That's misery. Okay, two miseries out. Old age, okay, now I'm not old. 30, 40 years, I can enjoy full king size. Disease, yeah, sometimes I get some, COVID here and there, some flu and some fever. Okay, so that's fine. The rest of it is fun. I will enjoy. But no, all the fill in the blanks will happen by tapatraya. What is that? Adhyatmic miseries, adhibhautik miseries, adhidaivik miseries. Miseries caused by adhyatmic miseries means miseries caused by myself. I'll do something stupid and I got myself into trouble. Adhyatmic miseries. Adhibhautik miseries means others give me trouble. I'm working nicely, honestly in the workplace politics. Something happens, or my boss is giving some, or client will, something. It may come in a myriad ways. Then adhidaivik, which are, and not only workplace, I'm not saying just human beings. It can even be a dog. I'm just walking and a dog just bites me. That is also adhibhautik misery. Or some mosquito bites me and I get malaria or dengue. This is also adhibhautik misery. So in this way, there are adhibhautik miseries. And then there's adhidaivik miseries. Adhidaivik miseries means miseries caused by the demigods, the devatas, by higher powers, supernatural powers. For example, typhoon or earthquake, natural disasters. So these things are not within even human control or within any animal control, but they are under the control of higher beings. It's not that they are just natural phenomena. What is natural phenomena? People don't understand. There are higher powers governing these aspects of atmospheric conditions, the earth conditions. These are not simply some random movements of air and some water and then something evaporation and condensation. We explain like this. Yes, that is true. That is what we can see. But to govern all these things, there is higher power. And these are the devatas. So the rest of the fill in the blanks happens by these miseries. So that's why Kṛṣṇa said, Dukkhalayam ashashvatam. This world is a place of misery, and even if you want to compromise, never mind, it's misery, I'll just stay with my family, and no, we can't even stay. Temporary and miserable. So that is this world. So the sufferings of humanity or of all living entities is because we have turned away from Kṛṣṇa and trying to be happy here. And therefore we are put into this world to become the Lord that we wanted to. And then in the attempt of doing so, we get into so much karma. Because others also have come into this material world with the same intention to become the Lords. And if I, trespass others' rights to become the Lord, then I will have to be punished for that. It's fair game. Otherwise, how can I just do anything and there's no consequence? So there is karma. And we are getting bound in the cycle of karma. And so imperceptibly so. For example, even if I am walking and I step on an ant and kill it, I'm going to pay for it. I'm going to become an ant and die, killed in the same way. Even accidental killings will be taken into account. If I make another person suffer in one or the other way, I will have to face that same suffering. So it is very, very subtle, very nuanced, very intricate, and very stringent at the same time. Karma does not. There's nobody who does not receive justice. If he has done, he will get it. Sometimes, like recently, there was this horrible case of rape in Kolkata. Whole national news in India. Horrible. I mean, and people are protesting. There has to be justice for this lady. But no need to protest. You know why? That person who did it, he will get the justice. He will have to save. He will have to face the same exact pain that he has given that lady. He will face it. Whether the government does it or not, Yamaraj will not keep quiet. If government did it, okay, fine. If the government does not do it, then Yamaraj will do it. Nobody can hide. Not that he did in some 2 a.m., 3 a.m. and they tried to cover up the crime scene by some renovations and all that. He's going to run away from that and escape. No. Let's see. What is that? 325. 42. You see? No, not this. 6:1:42. सूर्योऽग्निः खं मरुद्देवः सोमः संध्याहनी दिशः कं कुः स्वयं धर्म इति ह्येते दैह्यस्य साक्षिणः. Sakshi means witness. We think that there was no witness in this case. Let's see how many witnesses. The sun, fire, sky, air, demigods, devatas, moon, evening, day, night, directions, water, land, and the super soul himself, the Paramatma, all witness the activities of the living and dead. Now you may say, come on, what are you talking about? How can the air see, sky see, fire see? How can the sun and the moon, the devatas see? It's all in a closed room. It was. I mean, when we have this body and with an X-ray, we can see what is within the body, although it is opaque. We can see the bones, and with an MRI, we can even see the soft tissue. So if we can see with some manipulation, and the devatas cannot see anything because the door is closed, because it was dark. You think they're so incapable? And what does it mean by the air is seeing and the fire is witnessing and the sky is witnessing, evening is witnessing, day, night? This is all superstitious explanation. What is this nonsense? Directions, what is that? When we say these things, this means these things have demigods governing these things. Like air, there's Vayu. Vayu Bhagavan. He is controlling the air. So if the air is going into my nostrils and into my body, he has access to everything, everywhere that the air is going. Through the air, he can see. We are given some power to see with these eyes. What does that mean? I'll give you an example. I don't know if you know how things work, technology in this world. Every technology that comes out is actually defense research. For example, Google Maps. We navigate and we drive here and there. But you know how it started? Even internet, for example, how it started? Because the US defense, they wanted a way to communicate among their own bases in different parts of the world, because they're basically trying to colonize, and because they have their bases everywhere all over the world. So they have to communicate in one way or the other. So there was research on this, and that's how internet actually came about. Google Maps, same thing. They wanted actually surveillance, actually where is going, what is happening where. They wanted some satellite imagery, they wanted. But then once the defense has the technology, then they will roll out subsets of such technology to the public and make so that they can have commercial gains from that. So the defense version of Google Maps or such maps technology will be far, far more superior than what is given to us. A small subset of such feature is given to us, and that is monetized, and that's how they get their revenue. They make their. Every piece of technology comes like that. So we are given like small portion of the real thing that they have. Similarly, if I can see that is given to me by the devatas under the order of Krishna. So if I can see, I can smell, that means a small portion of the power that the devatas have, I am given. I can see for a certain distance, in a certain wavelength, from red to violet, and ultraviolet, infrared, I cannot see. But that is because I am given a certain slice of that power. Devatas, they can see everything. The air which is going in, so they can, through these things, through the air, they can see everything. Night, day, moon. You think moon is so far away? What moon? Or Chandrayaan landed there, nothing is there. What moon is seeing? We cannot see what is happening on the moon with our Chandrayaan machine, moon lander. But there is full civilization on the moon. Our scientists cannot see that. The dimension of such existence is in a different. Otherwise, what is the meaning of this Somarasa, Chandra, Chandradev, and all these things? It's just some fictional, some story format. They just said something. Chandamama, something like that, Simply to talk to some kids. Big sages, big rishis, munis, they speak children's languages. Oh, teddy bear. You go and see the bear, you no cute at all. Bear is not cute at all. Bear is the apex predator, Apex predator means nobody hunts down a bear. There is no animal, like there are some animals, like fish, eats other fish. But there is bigger fish eating this fish, bigger fish eating this. The biggest fish which nobody can eat, that is the apex predator. Lions, for example, nobody eats the lions. They are the apex predators in the animals kingdom. Bear is an apex predator. It's not cute at all. It's terror. When you see a bear, it's terror. But, for children, a teddy bear, some soft toy. So, Chanda Mama, some kid, big rishis, they are speaking children languages. So, when Chandrayaan, this landing happened, I was irritated almost. Everybody's celebrating. Nobody is questioning why our Shastra is saying there is Chandradev, there is Somarasa. Somarasa is a beverage which when one drinks, one lives for 10,000 years and he gets the strength of 10,000 elephants. Vigor, not only just like strength physical, but mentally becomes very active, sharp. It's a heavenly beverage. Somarasa means the beverage of the moon. And forget about beverage, there is no water there. There is no air to breathe, you will suffocate. That is what our scientists are finding. So what is happening actually? Why the Vedas describe in one way and our Chandrayaan lander is looking at it in another way? Why this dichotomy? We should investigate. There should be some question nobody had. Everybody is celebrating, we landed on Chandamama. There is answer, of course, that's the whole topic. That's a separate video which I want to make about it. Why the scientists cannot see. Forget about the devatas, I'll just give you a glimpse. Even the ghosts in this world we cannot see. There are ghosts. People who die untimely, sinful, they become ghosts. So we can't even see ghosts unless for some people they can see. Dogs they can see. But we cannot see the ghosts. But they exist. Devatas are way more subtle than the ghosts. They exist on a different realm. We think life means should be like this. Otherwise, it's not life. So, anyway, all these witnesses are there. And finally, the super soul, Paramatma himself is saying, 13-14. See. Sarvatah panipadam tat sarvatokshi shiromukham sarvatah shrutimaloke sarvam avritya tishtati. Krishna is saying, the Paramatma feature of myself, he can see everything. Everywhere are his hands and legs, his eyes, heads and faces, and he has ears everywhere. In this way, the super soul or Paramatma exists, pervading everything. So even the devatas, how do they get their power to witness everything? Because Paramatma gives them. So in this way, there is complete accountability for everything that we do. Not only do, everything that we say, everything that we think also. Everything that we think is being recorded. Forget about doing it. So it's very, very stringent. So we have to understand that karmana daiva netrena, by past activities which have been recorded by Kṛṣṇa and his agents like Yamaraj, who can also see everything, we are given a particular body and our sufferings or enjoyments are given as a quota. Now, how to change that? How to help a person who is suffering? So, the root cause of his suffering is because he has gone against Kṛṣṇa. So, if he can come back to Kṛṣṇa, everything will be all right. So, how to come back to Kṛṣṇa? Starting with chanting the name of Kṛṣṇa. So, what are you saying? He is hungry and you ask him to chant. Yes. And we give him prasadam. Yes, we will give him food, but not just food. Offer it to Kṛṣṇa and give that prasadam. Some people accuse the Hindus. Arey, your festivals, Abhishek, you are wasting so much milk. You can give it to the poor man. Why are you wasting so much milk? Okay. What we do here? We do Abhishek. The Charanamrita is collected and that is distributed to everyone. Why don't you volunteer to come and collect the Charanamrita and give it to everyone? Why are you complaining that the milk is being wasted? That's not a waste. That's not a waste. So prasadam has to be fed to people. Then they not only their bellies get full, but also spiritually they are advancing. They are eating Krishna prasadam. Prasadam means mercy. Krishna's mercy. The food that we eat, Krishna's mercy. So once he is eaten, okay, then enlighten him with knowledge. Give him the Mahamantra, give him the books. So let him read. Let him understand what is actually the cause of one's suffering. So we should try to help as much as possible, make them understand. Then, if the person fortunately takes up the process, his sufferings will end for good. His sufferings will end for good, for sure. Nobody who has come to Kṛṣṇa has become, unable to survive. No. Kṛṣṇa says. In fact, once he joins temple and becomes a devotee, then not only he can eat, but he can feed so many other people also. Ananyāścintayanto mam ye janāh paryupāsate tesham nityabhiyuktānam yogakshemam vahamyaham. But those who always worship me with exclusive devotion, meditating on my transcendental form, to them I carry what they lack and I preserve what they have. So he protects. He says, Ma suchaha, don't worry. Don't worry for your existence. Sarva dharman parityajyam mamekam sharanam vraja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshayishyami ma suchaha. Abandon all varieties of religion and just surrender unto me. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Do not fear. I shall deliver you from all sinful reactions. Whatever your suffering is because of past sinful reactions, I will deliver you from that. I will absolve, I will neutralize, I will write off. That's like sometimes the bank writes off the loan. Okay, you know what? Write off. So Kṛṣṇa writes off all our past, whatever we have done, once we take to him, once we surrender to him. Why is saying abandon all varieties of religion? Because we have distorted understanding of religion. Oh, my kula dharma, my kula devata, my this, my parents taught me this, my grandfather said this, my jati, we do this, we all leave it. Leave it. Don't waste time. Surrender unto me. Because all those dharmas are ultimately meant to bring one to me after many lifetimes. Why you want to waste time? Come to me directly now. That's what Kṛṣṇa is saying. Kṛṣṇa is saying in the 4th chapter that dharma samsthapanarthaya. He's saying, I am coming here to establish dharma samsthapana arthaya, for the purpose of establishing dharma. I come every time. I take avatar. I come as an avatar because of paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam dharma samsthapanarthaya. Three things. Save the devotees, protect the devotees, paritranaya sadhunam, vinashaya cha dushkritam. Those who are demons, I destroy them. Okay, one may ask, then After Krishna goes, again there will be demons. Then who will destroy them? So for the future, dharma samsthapanarthaya. So I established religious principles so that not only when I am here, but I am when so-called gone. Actually, Krishna never goes away anywhere. Not that, 5,000 years ago he went back. Went back where? He just disappeared from our vision. But Krishna is there always, everywhere, every single atom. Andantarastha paramanu chayantarastham. We cannot say. But nevertheless, he leaves the path of dharma so that we can now tread that path. And Kalikale Namarupe Krishna avatar. Krishna's avatar comes in many ways. Avatar comes not only when, Krishna comes, when he took birth. No. Krishna comes also as mantra. The Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. This mantra, and every name of Krishna is Krishna himself. Abhinnatvan nama naminoho. Our name and we are non-different. Different. Krishna and his name are non-different. Like we may have name Santosh, but we may be always miserable. So my name is Santosh, but I am actually not happy. Santosh means, Tosha means happiness. Santosh means Sampurna Tosha, means completely happy, but I am completely miserable. So my name and there's no, what is that? If anybody is Santosh, please excuse me. So there is no, and even if I'm happy, so-called, but there are miseries we have just seen. Dukhalaya Masashvatam, please. So I am not my name. A name is assigned to me, that's all. I am not the name. Like water. If I am thirsty, chanting the name water, water, water will not quench my thirst. So the substance water and the word water are two separate things. I'll become more thirsty if I chant water. So the name water and the substance water are different. This is the world of duality, where the name and the named are two separate things. Just it is attached to this, okay? Give it a name. But in the case of Krishna, Krishna and his name, abhinnatvan nama namino. Krishna and his name are non-different. When I am saying Krishna, I am not calling Krishna. Krishna is already there on my tongue. Krishna is already there on my tongue. So I am associating with Krishna when I am saying Krishna. Yes, calling, but calling at the same time I am associating also. But in the beginning we cannot understand this existence of Krishna in this way. So he comes as mantra, he comes as the Archa Vigraha, Archa avatar. The Murti, Radha Krishna here, Radha Madan Mohan, Jagannath Baladev Subhadra, Gaur Nitai, Prahlad Narsimha. They're not just some idols only. They're avatar of Krishna. Archa avatar. So he comes in many different ways. In fact, what is that? 6:16:51. Yeah. So Krishna is saying, Aham vai sarva bhutani bhutatma bhuta bhavanah shabda brahma param brahma mamo bhe shashvati tanu. This is the Lord himself in Srimad Bhagavatam 6:16:51. You can see the number there. So I am not quoting reference from Shastra. See, all living entities, moving and non-moving, are my expansions and are separate from me. I am the super soul, that means Paramatma. Atma means soul, super soul, Paramatma. I am the super soul of all living beings who exist because I manifest them. I am the form of the transcendental vibrations like Omkar and Hare Krishna, Hare Rama. And I am the supreme absolute truth. These two forms of mine, namely the transcendental sound and the eternally blissful spiritual form of the deity, the Archa Vigraha, are my eternal forms. They are not material. So they are not material. But our intellect is insufficient to grasp the spiritual reality of the mantra and of the deity, how Krishna exists. So for us, to make it simple for us, Krishna has said, like what he said today in today's verse, oh, among the Vedas I am Samaveda. How many Vedas are there? 4. What are the 4 Vedas? Rigveda, Samveda, Atharvaveda, Yajurveda. Yes, very good. Some Hindus don't even know what are the four Vedas. So among them, Samaveda, why he says I'm among the Vedas, I'm four Veda, I'm the Samaveda. Because Samaveda is very sweet. You can sing all the verses of Samaveda. Very nice. It's beautiful to hear. Others have meter, but Samaveda is very sweet to hear. So that's why he's saying I'm Samaveda. So in this way, sound and deity, he exists in many, many ways. So because we cannot understand, he says, okay, I'm among the fish, I'm the shark, among the devatas, I'm Indra, among the commanders in chief, I'm Skanda. Because Skanda, whom the Tamil people here, especially in Singapore, they worship Murugan, they call Murugan, Shanmukha. So he is topmost commander in chief of the devatas. Nobody is more courageous than him in this universe. We have not heard much about how he is courageous, but if you read the Puranas, you will see how Skanda fights. So that level of fighting is never seen again. Never seen anywhere else. Skanda fights like that. Very, very courageous on the battlefield. He's the commander in chief of the entire host of the Devata army. So supreme example in every category. Krishna is saying, I am that, like that. So in this way, he exists. So he's making it simple for us to understand, slowly grasp the greatness of Krishna. So in all ways, we have to understand Krishna like this, that he's non-different from his name, non-different from his form, and everything that we see, because we are seeing many things. So everything should remind us of Krishna. Everything should remind us of Krishna, like that. So in this is the reason why he tells like this. Indriyanam. So of course we know among the devatas, Indra is the chief. But higher than the Indra, there are other devatas like Prajapatis, the Brahma. They are way higher than Indra. Indra has no jurisdiction over them. But among the devatas, which is Swargaloka, higher than Swargaloka, there is Janaloka, Maharloka, Janaloka, Satyaloka, Tapoloka and Satyaloka. The inhabitants of those planets are above even Indra. So they do not come under demigods. They are rishis, munis. They are much higher than even the devatas. Devatas means on the Swargaloka category only. Swarga is not the highest. So anyway, Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Among the senses, I am the mind, Krishna says. In Bhagavatam, he says another way. Among things that are difficult to control, I am the mind. What is that? No. Hmm. 11.6.11. गुणिनामप्यहं सूत्रं महतां च महानहं सूक्ष्माणामप्यहं जीवो दुर्जयानाम अहं मनः. Among things possessing qualities, I am the primary manifestation of nature, and among great things, I am the total material creation. Among subtle things, I am the spirit soul, and of things that are difficult to conquer, I am the mind. So again, here also he is saying similar things in this chapter of the Bhagavatam, like what he spoke in the Bhagavad Gita. Among these things, I am this, I am this, I am this. So among things that are difficult to control, I am the mind. And Indriyanam Manaschasmi. Among the senses, I am the mind. Because mind is the chief of the senses. How many senses do we have? 5? So that is from the modern science perspective. But from the Vedic perspective, we have 10 senses. So to understand this, we have to understand what a sense is. Sense means just like sensor in a machine. What is a sensor? which detects something, whether it's a proximity sensor or sound or you know uh, video or whatever. It's a sensor. So it senses something, right? So similarly, the definition of sense in Vedic understanding is the points of interaction of us with this world. That is a sense. Like the stomach does not interact with the outside world. It's an internal process. Internal digestive system is internal. It does not interact with the outside world. With the outside world, what interacts, that is a sense. So in there's a much better definition of the senses in our Vedas, apart from just 5 senses. So it is said 5 Jnanendriya and 5 Karmendriya. Jnanendriya means the knowledge acquiring senses. That means with that sense, I acquire some knowledge. For example, my eyes. I see something, I know the form, how it looks. That knowledge I receive, that information I receive. It's an information gathering senses, knowledge acquiring senses. From my ear, I listen and I understand something. Of course, the mind processes it, but it interacts. The reception is done by the ear, oral reception. If I touch something, I can understand whether it's hard or soft, or whether it's cold or hot. So this is again information acquiring, knowledge acquiring sense. When I touch something with my tongue, I know the taste of it. And what is the other one? Nose, smell. So again, I know something about this world. So that is knowledge acquiring senses. Then there are, so this is all input. Then output. Something which, for example, speech. The same tongue acts as 2 dual sensor. One is tasting, one is speech. So speech is karmendriya. I output something into the world by my words. That is speech. Then there is hands, which interact with the world, which make something. Legs, which walk, which make us move in this world. And then there is the generative organ, the genitals, which of course there is the urinary function, and then there is the procreating function. And then there is the anus, by which the body is being maintained, and then stool is coming out. So in this way, it interacts with the outside world. And you may think, well, how come anus something? Why is a big like sense or something? What is it doing? Senseless thing? No. I mean, what if somebody's digestive intestines, he cannot output stool? Body will be in disorder. Not only this, if you see the animals, the bird or the animal eats some fruit, and then the seeds it will eat, and then when pass a stool somewhere, and then there the seed gets sown, and then that itself acts as manure, and then the seed will grow into a plant. There's so many functions. I mean, if you really study. So in this way, there are 5 Jnanendriya, 5 Karmendriyas, 10 senses. So this is much more logical, much more sensible explanation of senses than just the scientific understanding, which is 5 senses. So then, but the mind is the chief of all of these. The senses input the information and feed it to the mind. Mind decides what to do with that information. Like or dislike or what to do. I get some smell and I want to eat it. Like this. So the mind is deciding to eat, but the information was given by and then my legs will actually walk to that place, and my hands will take out the money from the wallet, give it. And to do that, I have to work with my hands and feet, with my mind again. So in this way, we are existing. So the mind is the chief of the senses, and that's why Kṛṣṇa is saying, among the senses, I am the mind. So in this way, we have to understand, we have to see Kṛṣṇa in everything in this way, starting. Eventually, we will come to a point, pure devotees, they always see Kṛṣṇa. Sthavar jangam dekhe, na dekhe tar murti, sarvatra hoy nija ishta deva spurti. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said. They may see moving and non-moving things, but actually they don't see the external form. I mean, they see, but they see Kṛṣṇa everywhere. the personal form of Krishna everywhere. So God is everywhere, people say. Sometimes they say, God is everywhere, why should I go to temple? So Prabhupada gave nicely answer. He said, if God is everywhere, why he is not in the temple? Why you should not come to temple? If God is everywhere, then he is in the temple also, right? Why you act like he is everywhere except the temple? I don't need to go to the temple. Why? There is no God here. So, God is everywhere, yes. But in the temple, we learn how to serve him, how to become his devotee. That is necessary. God is everywhere, yes, but am I realizing that God is everywhere? That is the question. Just like English is everywhere, why should I go to school? Because there is a proper way how to learn. After you learn, then yes, wherever you see, you can read. So, similarly, God is everywhere, but how to see him everywhere, that we learn in the association of devotees. Temple means, sometimes, especially nowadays, I'm getting so many video recommendations of some, what is this, Hindu rejuvenating kind of society, thought leaders kind of people, who are talking about, Hinduism and, our culture, our heritage, our temples, temples are a place. This is how they describe a temple. Temple is a place of, it's an energy center where, the vastu and everything, there is, the one person, he was like, and everybody was appreciating in the comment section. He was saying, when, the vastu is done properly and then the gopuram is there, the Brahma, the unlimited spiritual power, and below also there is, in the altar, below also there is, what is that, some setup is done, and then between that gopuram and this, in the vertical dimension, the Brahma resides, and then we offer our respect to that universal power from the horizontal dimension. When we see like this, it is existing. Stupid explanation is given. That is not the explanation of a temple. There's so many temples, dilapidated, cobwebs everywhere, dogs passing stool in the temple. What about that temple? Vigraha is there, but nothing going on. Why? What is a temple? What is a temple? Yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tisthami narada naham tisthami vaikunthe naham yoginam hridayeshuva. Krishna is saying, I am not in Vaikuntha or in embassies of Vaikuntha, which are temples. I am not there. I am not in the hearts of the yogis who are trying to meditate on me. When he says I am not there, means I am not really interested. That's not I am not attached to a place, or I am not attached to some, I am not officially existing. I want to stay. Like, yatra gayanti madbhakta tatra tisthami narad. He is telling Narad Muni, I exist where my devotees are glorifying me, discussing about me. That's where I am. So a temple is a place, yes, the deity, good, but devotees is the real deal. Because devotees are Krishna's way of how to tell us. Krishna wants to tell us, he tells through the devotees. Of course, he tells through the books, but then make it more forceful. In the association of devotees, we will learn how to become a devotee of Krishna. The sadhu sangha is what is the real purifying factor in the temple. Because there are vigrahas everywhere. But Krishna, why does devotee, one may ask, hey, how come you are saying that devotees are more powerful than vigraha, the deity? How can you say like that? No. What we are saying is, the devotees, they discuss topics about Krishna. And you think topics about Krishna are different from Krishna? No. Krishna Katha is Krishna. And when we say Katha, it is not some fairy tale story. Because Katha can also mean story. But we are not talking about story. Katha means topic. So about Krishna, if we discuss, so then our conviction increases. So people go to temple for darshan. In Tirupati, big program for darshan. You have to pay something, stand in queue hours and darshan, and then see for 10 seconds, come out. They are so much prepared to wait and everything for darshan. But what about Shravan? What about Shravan? Shravan means to hear. You think it's not important? We have to hear about Krishna's philosophy, Krishna's topic. What Krishna is saying, I have to listen. Not that I say, okay, and then come out and talk rubbish. So my own materialistic nonsense with my family. Is that darshan? Is that the way to even visit a temple? And while standing in the line, also talk something, all kind of, oh, did you watch that movie? This and everything. No. And that is big darshan program. That is not darshan. In fact, yeah. Shrutekshita Tvam bhakti yoga paribhavita hrit saroja asya shrutekshita patho nanunatha pumsam yadyadhyata urugaya vibhavayanti tattvapuh pranayase sadanugrahaya. Shrutekshita patho. Shrutekshita means, ikshita means to see. Shrutekshita means who is seen by hearing. O my Lord, your devotees can see you through the ears by the process of bona fide hearing. What is this bona fide hearing? Hearing from the right source, from the devotees. And thus their hearts become cleansed and you take your seat there. You are so merciful to your devotees that you manifest yourself in the particular eternal form of transcendence in which they always think of you. Now, Shrutekshita is very important. He is seen through hearing. He is not seen through the eyes. In fact, not only Krishna, even the sadhu is seen only through the ear, not through the eyes. Not that one person will come with big beard and a mala and saffron color cloth and he is sadhu suddenly. People believe this kind of sadhu and get cheated. Sometimes they realize they got cheated, most of the time they don't. They continue to get cheated till their death, thinking that, oh, this is Babaji, my Baba, or my Guru, my Swami. And they will sentimentally attached, even though he is speaking all rubbish. Sadhu means, Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, Prabhupada's Guru, he said, you must hear a sadhu, not see him. What he speaks. Is he speaking what Krishna is speaking? If he is repeating, he is sadhu. If he is saying one thing away from what the Shastra is saying, he is a rascal. Demon number one. He is not sadhu. Immediately we have to reject. It doesn't matter if even millions of people follow him. Oh, millions of subscribers, billions of devotees. Doesn't matter. All that clout, CLOUT clout, doesn't matter. You can have all the power and all this following you want. If you tell one thing against Krishna, we'll call you a rascal. We will do it. People say, why are you worried about him? You speak about Krishna, no? Why are you criticizing somebody? We have to criticize. How dare he mislead people? Krishna himself criticizes. And we are repeating. Sadhu's business is to repeat what Krishna says. Krishna is criticizing, we will criticize. We will criticize. No, you cannot be judgmental. Why? You have no intelligence. How did you judge? How did you weigh your pros and cons and come to Singapore? You did not make a judgment when you came to Singapore from India. You made a judgment, right? You passed your exam because the examiner judged your paper. And because of that pass mark, you got some entrance exam somewhere else and somewhere else job you got. The interviewer, you are going to the interview to get judged by the interviewer and get the job. Don't talk about, you cannot judge. Please, don't give me the crap. We have to judge. That is part of this, that is intelligence. You think I can associate with all the drunkards? What if today, suddenly, the man and woman married, and the man says, no, I don't distinguish, I don't discriminate, I just associate with every woman. Will the wife accept? No, I don't judge them, everybody's okay. There has to be judgment. There is right and wrong. Don't be carried away by the so-called motivational speakers who are saying, oh, don't judge, we have to judge. We should know what is, I should be in the right company, don't go in the wrong company. What is the right company and wrong company? There is judgment. The country has a judiciary. There is a judge who's sitting there, who's getting paid very well. And then he says, no, don't judge. And the judge is getting very good pay. We have to judge. We should know what is right and what is wrong. We should know what is dharma. We should also know what is adharma. Otherwise, we will mistake adharma to be dharma. Before we end, I just want to show that. You see, pravrittim cha nivrittim cha karya karye bhaya bhaye bandham moksham cha ya vetti buddhihi sapartha satviki. Why Krishna says what is adharma also he says. Who is a devotee, who is a non-devotee also he says. He does not talk about only one-sided. We should know both sides. Then we can distinguish, okay, this is right, this is wrong. If you only know right and don't know what is wrong, what is that? That understanding by which one knows what ought to be done and what ought not to be done, what is to be feared and what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating, is in the mode of goodness. This is sattvic understanding. We will know what we should do, what we should not do, what is right, what is wrong, what is to be feared and what is not to be. Oh, I am fearless. Daredevil. Yeah, devil only dare to do things which are not to be done. There is a saying for that. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. There is a saying in English. Fools rush in where angels fear to tread. That means the path of sinful activity, I should not be fearless in doing that. Like in one, I told this example once. The Fear Factor show on AXN TV when I was a kid. So, you have to do some daring things, and then one of the daring things, what is that? The guy was asked to eat in front of all the audience. He has to either eat the raw eye of the cow. The eye of the cow, he has to eat like that. And he's saying, oh, he ate it nicely. I'm a daredevil. Devil dares to do that thing. The religious person will fear to do that because he knows what the consequences are. So what is to be feared, what is not to be feared, what is binding and what is liberating? Binding and liberating means if I do this, I will be bound by karma, I will be punished, I will be even not only punished, I may be even rewarded. But even then, that is binding. So what is liberating? That means what makes me get out of this cycle of birth and death. So he knows all these things. That is sattvic understanding of religion. Now let's see. Classic Hinduism today is this. Yaya dharmam adharmam cha karyam chakaryam eva cha ayathavat prajanati buddhi sapartha rajasi. O son of Pritha, that understanding which cannot distinguish between religion and irreligion, between action that should be done and action that should not be done, is in the mode of passion, rajasic. This is not sattvic, rajasic. When I don't know what religion and what is not religion. For example, I'll give you an example. Sai Baba. Hindus worship Sai Baba. Where did he come from? Who is he? Who is he? Is he mentioned? Every avatar of Vishnu has to be mentioned in the Shastras. Where is the mention of Sai Baba? Whether the Puttaparthi one or the Shirdi one, both are bogus. We can tell like this. We will tell like this because we are speaking on the authority of the Shastra. I am not making a judgment from my own mind. I am saying what the Shastra is saying, and we have to boldly say it. If we sit under the mask of behind the mask of so-called tolerance and being nice and cover all the truth. First of all, I don't know the truth, which is why I'm compromising. I have to know the truth and I have to speak the truth no matter what the consequence. That is truthfulness and honesty. It is not a statement of pride that we're making that, oh, Sai Baba is nonsense. It is a statement of just humility and honesty. It is humility because we are humble before the opinion of Kṛṣṇa. We are not humble before some scandalous so-called misleader. We will not be humble before him. We will be humble before Kṛṣṇa and what he says. So when we say like this is humility. No matter how my face looks when I say it. I will be humble to the opinion of Kṛṣṇa. Kṛṣṇa says, an ordinary man can never be God. And every avatar has to be mentioned in the Shastras. And if he said that, I have to repeat it. And if I say anything else, I'm a rascal of the first order. And that's why we don't accept Sai Baba, for example. And same thing goes with Sadguru. He's not Sadguru, Asadguru. He does not speak on the authority of the Vedas. Again, we will be humble before the opinion of Kṛṣṇa and under no one else. Under someone who repeats the opinion of Kṛṣṇa, yes, we will be humble. not to someone who does not repeat the opinion of Krishna. Because Krishna's opinion matters, because Krishna's opinion is fact. Fact and opinions are two separate things when it comes to us. But when it comes to Krishna, Krishna's opinion is fact, because whatever he says, that is truth. Okay? So we will stay with the truth. And no matter what, we will call out the rascals who are going on masquerading as so-called swamis and yogis. That's what you have to hear what the so-called guru says, not how he looks. Oh, he looks very peaceful. Yeah, he's very peaceful because they're getting all the money. He's scamming millions of people. He's very peaceful with that. So we cannot understand by seeing. We have to hear. And we have to judge according to the statement of the scripture. And we will stay humble to Krishna. Okay? So when I cannot distinguish between what is religion, what is not religion, this is rajasic. Now worse is tamasic, where I am now very convinced that the opposite is true. I take dharma to be adharma. Oh, these Hare Krishnas, you see, look at how he's speaking. He's so, full of pride and rude, audacious. This is how he's speaking. This is rascaldom. This is nonsense. I will never come here. It's up to you. Nobody is forcing you. The door is open this way or that way. From outside you can come in, from inside you can go out also. But we will speak the truth. Yeah? Adharmam dharmam itiya manyate tamasavrita sarvarthan viparitamscha buddhihi sapartha tamasi. There is sattvic, rajasic and tamasic. This tamasic understanding of religion is this. That understanding which considers irreligion to be religion and religion to be irreligion under the spell of illusion and darkness and strives always in the wrong direction, O Partha, is in the mode of ignorance. And in the purport, Prabhupada explains, intelligence in the mode of ignorance is always working the opposite of the way it should. It accepts religions which are not actually religions and rejects actual religion. Men in ignorance understand a great soul to be a common man and accept a common man as a great soul and not as a great soul. Sometimes, like Gandhi, he caused so much problem for India, first of all, and people call him Mahatma. Not only Mahatma, some people call man as God also. Not only great soul, but God also sometimes. They think truth to be untruth and accept untruth as truth. In all activities, they simply take the wrong path. Therefore, their intelligence is in the mode of ignorance. So therefore, we must know what is dharma, what is adharma, how Krishna exists, how we are related to him. We have to know all these things and we have to live by the truth. Then our life will be successful. Otherwise, we're asking for trouble. Okay, I'll stop here. Any questions or comments on this topic? No. No questions? Okay, we'll stop here. Jai Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Nitai Gaur Premanande.